Joana, how you do me like Joana? Joana,
Hey.
how you do me like Joana?
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Those who are new here, it's your girl Tracy. Hello, welcome. Today I have a special guest,
Hey.
Joana, and we did a makeup look which she's got on now. So we tried to do one like Shay Mitchell, the whole bronzy effect, but obviously she's out of the world, so we tried our best.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to see how we got this look, please keep on watching. Shall we tell everyone how we met first?
How we fell in love.
Yeah, how we fell in love.
Yeah,
and, like,
sure.
Straight first from like the interview, I guess.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah. So
like when you came and interviewed.
oh my god, yeah. So I applied for a job at Monsoon and Tracy interviewed me.
What was the role?
Email marketing exec.
Yeah.
And joined the team, and literally from day one, I think we just literally got on so well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Even with like Kavita.
Oh my god,
team.
yeah. Like the team were just awesome.
You were jealous on my Mac.
Oh my god, yeah. So Tracy had.
And you used to take pictures
Oh my
when I'm
God.
not there.
So the email marketing team, only Tracy had the Mac, and both Cara and I just had Windows. What, computer?
Yeah, like
The
a
normal basic.
PC.
So I was always fascinated with Tracy's computer, and I had so many thoughts of what I could do with it. So every time she was away from her desk, I would just take a few snaps, create a nice little
Pretend it's
flat lay
hers.
shot. Yeah, exactly. So it was amazing. So yeah, and we would like go lunch together. It was more like it was such a
Sociable.
yeah, and I think because I respected your role as a manager. But equally, we just became such good friends, didn't we?
Yeah, it was
and
just
it was
nice.
with Cara as well.
Yeah, it was just like what a team should really be. Like bounce off ideas of each other, cry together.
Exactly.
So this is basically what I'm doing. Is I'm concealing it. So this will help like carve it out your eyebrows.
Okay.
To make it look a bit more sharper. So you said you haven't done it.
Mhm.
So this will help.
Don't tell my secrets, then.
Oh yeah, sorry. She has done it. So it will just, and it also just helps because when I do the shadow, it will just stay there and not move around, sort of thing.
Okay.
So it just sets it up.
That's really good because something that I really struggle with is just keeping my makeup.
Yeah. So use
on my
your
face.
concealer. Your concealer is like the first thing that you should use to do that.
Okay.
Because then it sets it up nicely, and then because like pigment and stuff, because you want it to show in our like normal eyes, because we're quite darker here, aren't we? It doesn't show because it just blends in, so it just looks like yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it just helps out. And now obviously everyone wants like sharper brows, sort of thing. Question, I guess, is. How did you, actually say now, what do you do now? Because obviously we've both left
Oh
soon.
yeah. Still in marketing, not the digital platform, but more of, so retail shopping and marketing. So I'm currently doing the marketing for Westfield, which is great, and that's across both centres.
Which is White City, Westfield.
Yeah, and Stratford as well.
Yeah.
Marketing, what they need help with around the centre, what we can push, and just like brand campaigns as well that we're working on.
The look we're going for is a Shay Mitchell kind of look.
Yeah, so it's Shay Mitchell's this a beautiful, amazing actress who was actually in You. What was her name?
Oh, and Pretty Little Thing.
Oh yes.
No, that's the
Pretty
company.
Little Liars.
Pretty Little Liars. Yeah.
What was her name? You.
Peach.
That's it.
Peach.
So we are in love with Peach's look.
Yeah.
And kind of that's what I want to sort of Tracy to recreate on my face, but I don't know.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, you're gonna try.
I'm gonna try, and we're gonna put some colour in it because then. So in my previous video, I did say that I wanted to do YouTube videos that were related to topics. So it's like me doing makeup on you guys, and then actually talking about topics that are relevant and like going on in the world.
Yeah.
So today we wanted to talk about mental health and sort of like what that means today, and like obviously it is becoming quite a big thing. Like I know when I was at Made, they did like a workshop for it.
Did they?
Yeah, so they did like
That's
a lot
really
of
good.
awareness.
That's really
And they
good.
like got someone in to say about stats and like what does it mean and stuff, which was really nice actually.
That's actually really good.
So they are taking it quite seriously. some more
Just-
retailers than others.
Just out of curiosity, what made you think, or no, not you, but why has it become such a focus now and not before?
I guess
Why do you
it's,
think that is?
I don't know. I guess it's because I think more people are opening up about it. I think before it was an enclosed thing, and now more people are actually opening up about it and saying, no, there is something, it's not just us thinking about it. I think it's come more from the people than other people recognising it.
Yeah.
I think more people that are opening up to it is making it a difference and making it a bigger thing, reach.
Okay.
I
yeah,
think that's
I agree.
why maybe, I don't know, what do you think?
I agree with that. I just feel like whereas people before, they had to deal with it for so long, and because it's an internal battle,
Yeah,
and it's just so sad.
that's
so
true.
both you and I went through it, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, I first noticed it at Monsoon, and I had to do therapy for it. But through my therapy, I realised that this actually landed my second job in the career, my career field.
So this was before Monsoon?
Yeah, but this was more because it's not spoken about, and like I said before, it's like an internal battle. You kind of suppress those feelings.
Yeah.
And that's what I kept on doing for such a long time. So I worked in PR before.
Oh yeah, I remember, yeah.
Industry, and it's very much like you had to have a thick skin. You
They do in PR though.
Yeah, you really have to have a thick skin. And with me, I'm a social butterfly, but I'm also a sensitive soul. You self-doubt a lot, and
it's a chatty industry, like you've got to
Yeah.
have confidence to be in PR.
yeah, the thing is, with confidence I had in terms of building relationships, but then the other bits, you literally started to feel like completely lower than your peers, and there were so many KPIs that.
Was it quite competitive?
Do you know what?
Was
It
there a
didn't need to be competitive, but
Yeah,
I think the people made it competitive.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
ideally, all you're doing is you're selling a brand, or you're talking about a brand to. At the time, it was publications, and this is when sort of bloggers and influencers slowly started to creep up into the surface. So it wasn't so much of a
Oh
focus of
yeah,
them.
that's true.
It was more of publications and the editors and
Yeah,
stylists and whatever. So it didn't need to be competitive. It was just more of just building relationships. But the people made it competitive,
yeah,
and they're not about women empowerment. They're not about building you up as a team. It's all about very self-centered.
So was it when you went to therapy you realised there was like a back history kind
Exactly,
of
yeah.
situation that led you to that?
Yeah, because she made me tap into so many different feelings.
Areas, yeah.
Of my life.
Yeah, I went through that as well.
It's and you don't want to do it because I was
No.
so closed off.
And they do say actually, like when you go through therapy, they do say like we don't have to, because you've got to answer a set of questions, and then that's when they find out. So they use the questionnaire to diagnose like the type you are.
Yeah.
So there's like low mood. Obviously, there's more severe ones. So they use this questionnaire to recognise where you are in the spectrum.
Yeah.
And
Forgot about that.
when they do that, and when you have a session where you talk to them, and when you talk to them, you go through the questionnaire, and when they go through the questionnaire, they do say like, you don't have to answer this if it's a trigger.
They say this. Well, with me, they said you don't have to answer this.
Yeah.
Which there were so many topics that I didn't want to talk about. But
Oh,
it's
okay.
almost like they not forced, but they wanted you to open up.
Yeah, just so they could recognise
Exactly.
where really it was.
But that was tough. Like the therapy was tough because there was just so many emotions that I was bottling up, and I think even just being the oldest in my household from my siblings, there's so much responsibility put onto you from a young child. And I'm not blaming my parents for this at all, but it's just little life situations that it's just the person you are. It just affects you in so many different ways. And it just so happened that work was my trigger. About not feeling confident enough, not, I don't know, just feeling like you're doing your job properly.
And it's all about like quite a lot of like self-doubt, isn't it? It goes back to like self-esteem.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, exactly that. Whereas it's weird because a lot of my cousins, because I'm so close with my cousins and my family, they'll be like, but Jo, you're so confident, you're this and you're that, and I'm just like, actually I'm not.
That's why we gave you the job.
Oh, because of confidence.
Yeah, because you came out so bubbly. And
yeah, I'm
like,
a bubbly person.
And you're such a people person in the sense of like you can have conversations and you know like not in the sense of like overconfidence or pleasing people, but you can naturally have an instant like connection.
Okay.
So it's like that type of personality. Like you don't have, no one has to push you to it.
No,
like
no.
You're self-aware of like you can make conversation sort of thing. Whereas I'm the opposite. I don't like to entertain people if I don't know them.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah, exactly. You see how I work with other people.
Yeah, but you're such a
if I have that connection with that person instantly, then it's fine, and I can talk to them. But when it's like random people, I don't like put myself out there until they put themselves out there to me, and I get to know them.
But this is why I think I landed in PR, because I'm like that, and that's what you have to do in PR roles. But it's literally with mental health, it's negative thoughts that you think about yourself all the time, and how sometimes like it's like you can't shake it off.
No,
you're in this like deep
and
hole,
the thing you try though, like you're constantly trying to not think it, and I think sometimes you think, oh, this is a negative thought, that's it, and you try to like change it around to see like the positive, but you don't.
Yeah, like, you can't shake it off.
And then the next day it happens again. Yeah. So it's like you shake it off for a bit, but then it comes back again. And
you're constantly in this like, I don't know, like in this really
like you used to describe, because you used to describe it to me as like you're in this hole and like it's a sinking feeling. So like I'll touch on like mine because I came to you about it, didn't I? So like I was going through it in Monsoon as well, and it was mainly like self-doubt, and it was like the pressure and like the fact that like I was a young manager and like being able to put my foot in the door still. And obviously with us and our generation, we are quite quick in progression, and we're quite quick in the sense of we want things done and we've got all of these ideas and we want it all on the table, and sort of like when obviously seniors and stuff put that pressure on you, you don't get to do it, sort of thing.
Yeah, true.
And having a team, and then I used to only have, it was just me, then I had Cara, then I had you, so then the team grew, which was amazing, and it's great progression for all of us, but it was the case of like the pressure. And then also apart from that, personal life as well, like going through like deaths in the family and things like that. Everything just happened again, and it's like, you know, when they say you have one bad thing, then you have like three in the making. It's sort of like that was a reoccurring thing. And even like with my like grandma's passing, I think that stuck to me for ages, and when it all happened, I didn't really let it out, so it was a thing that kept on being in the back of my head constantly.
You went back to work straight after, didn't you? It
was my granddad's funeral that I went back straight after. So I didn't really have. So I went to India. When we heard about it, we got the flight, came back straight away, and went back to work. So I never like switched off for so long, and I was trying to be like the strong one and things like that. It got to the stage where I realised I wasn't being that, and I was the person at night self-doubting. And usually when you're on your own, you self-doubt a lot, and you're thinking like, oh, where is my next step, what am I doing, sort of thing, and I mentally don't have a break, and it's like you're on a treadmill sort of situation, and keep going.
How were your nights?
I think my nights were the worst in the aspect of like I'll speak to Hardeep, and then I was fine. But then it's when we would say goodnight, and then I'm left to myself. And then that's where I'm like thinking, and I could feel like at night my brain was talking. So I was asleep, but I could hear my brain like talking to each other, like yourself.
You're not switched off.
And you're not switched off, and you're trying to think of all these scenarios and try to solve it, or just doubting yourself and thinking, what would this happen, what would that happen? I think that's what what was happening to me at night. Did you feel the same?
I used to go through panic attacks.
Oh yeah.
And anxiety attacks. So what I would do at night, a little bit like you, my brain wouldn't switch off. And I would also think of scenarios, just preempt certain scenarios, and then think, okay, what am I going to do?
I would make the worst situation.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, why are you thinking of that if it hasn't happened yet? And then I would go into a panic attack or an anxiety attack, and nights were horrible. Even going to work.
Yeah, I guess it would be good to know, because I never went through panic attacks, but it would be good to know, like, what is a panic attack? Because I know, like, my sister suffers from it, but I don't really know what it is.
For me...
Or the feeling, I guess.
I'll remember the latest one, was when I was on my way to work, and I just saw, like, a herd of people coming out of the station, and that caused me some sort of anxiety. And then from that point on, it's literally like... It's like you have no feeling in you, and you feel numb.
Yeah.
And then your chest... it almost becomes tight and you can't breathe. And you... It's just horrible to even talk about it.
You get trapped, you feel trapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't move any further because you don't want to put yourself in that situation. So you kind of just freeze and you start to... I don't know, it's like you're grasping for air,
like
almost.
What's that word? Hyperventilating?
Hyperventilating, yeah. And then through that, because your body almost shuts down, but you're still trying to grasp air.
Yeah.
And then because of all of these things are happening to your body.
Mine was more bad thoughts of obviously self-harm and things like that. Mine wasn't like, because I think I molded myself into like trying to be a strong person. So wake up and I'm a different face. I would put a different face on, and then, but in my mind I'm playing with myself.
But that's what I did for so many years.
Yeah.
Until it caught up with me.
Yeah.
Monsoon. So that's why I was just like, do you know what? You have to address it. You have to address these
as soon
feelings.
as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess we were talking before, obviously starting this, was like what mental health means to the world. Because like I feel like my dad gets it now, but he never used to get it before, and he would call it stress.
Right. Okay.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah. And like it's other people's mentality and thought process. So like they would think it's just stress. Let's stop taking on stress. You're young. There's no point. Things like that. And it's like we're not taking on stress. It's just we can't control it. And it's not so much always about the stress. It's about how we're going to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And it's not always that we can't handle the stress or the pressure. It's how do we better ourselves? And I think by trying to better ourselves, we forget that we just take a moment and breathe.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And that's what they told me in therapy. They were like, I think you take on too much. So instead of trying to take everything on in one day, break it out, but also have something pleasurable.
Yeah.
Especially with work, I feel like you're always constantly on work mode from Monday to Friday. That you kind of don't know when to stop and just enjoy life.
Yeah.
I mean, you're there 8 hours a day.
Yeah, and we say like you spend more time with your work colleagues than you do at home.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like sometimes there isn't that balance.
Yeah.
And that's why people do become stressed and go through these mental issues.
And it's that whole work-life balance situation.
Yeah, exactly.
The world sees it, because like you were saying, if your first question was like, how did this come about, and like why is there so much awareness now than there was before? Word associated with it, like mental
health,
like health aside,
it's already something negative. As it is.
Yeah, exactly. And like because you talk to some people and they're like, oh, and if they're going through it, you're like, oh, we think you should seek for help. But they'll be like, oh, but I don't have an issue. And they're like, I'm not crazy. And it's that association with the word mental. Because they're constantly like, oh, well, I'm not crazy, I don't need to seek help, sort of thing. And it's like, you don't have to be crazy, or you don't have to have that sort of mental disorder in order to seek help. It's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going back to the energy, I think it was Hardeep that picked it up first, because it's always you take it out on like the closest people. So he picked it up from me first, and then I guess it was like my parents. Because generally I'm a moody person anyway.
Yeah, same.
Just because like I'm tired and work life is not my point of call. So generally I am a moody person 9 to 5 on Monday to Friday. But I think it was where it was getting to a stage where I was like snappy a lot.
Okay.
More than normal. And it wasn't the tiredness, it was the anger, I think.
Okay.
That was my energy. My energy was more anger than being tired or upset. My energy was the anger. And I could recognise it, and I could...
My energy was isolating myself from everyone else. I didn't want to go out. And even now, it's taken me quite a while to when I am in that space to actually just force myself to go out. So yeah, it's not going out with friends, not being that social butterfly that I normally am, and really just being alone in my thoughts at home.
Would you say this was when you felt like you were going through it more? Because obviously it grows, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The longer you leave it, the longer it grows.
It was that, and also just like friends and family would just be like, Joe, come out, why are you not out?
Yeah.
And I think it was even my friend that said, are you going through depression?
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then I think that's when I thought, okay, maybe I am going through something.
Or like, yeah, what did they think about it?
My sister was my biggest support. Her and my I think my cousins really tried, and my friend Ellie, they really tried to sort of get me to talk a bit more. But it's one of those things that you don't want to talk about it, because you're just going to get yourself back into that same
situation.
Yeah. But
sort of you're letting it in, but in real life situations,
yeah,
rather than on your own.
Yeah, exactly. But then equally, my friend Natalie, she was kind of going through something quite similar, and because sometimes when you're talking to people and you just sound negative.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk to you about how I'm feeling because it sounds negative, and I don't want to ruin your mood.
Yeah.
But with Nat, because we're kind of going through the same thing, it was like, it helped to let me be me, let me talk about how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Actually, tell everyone about your hair. Well, you'll see it at the end, but tell everyone about your hair.
So...
And what you do. So, Joe, tell about your Instagram, what you do. Oh, I guess PR helped in this essence, didn't it? About doing stuff.
It did. So I'm currently helping people how to look after their natural hair and really maintain it, and just to really wear it rather than, I don't know, straightening your natural locks. So it's more for textured hair. So when I was younger, I was never able to, I didn't really know how to look after my curls. So what I used to do was just straighten it for convenience sake. But yeah, now I've just got into a habit of actually learning to love what I have and learning how to actually maintain it as well. So that's what Jojo Curls.
Yeah, we'll leave it down below. Mental health then.
Yeah, sorry.
I guess it's like, obviously we know it's important to shout out about it.
Yeah.
If you're going through it, and like, don't do it alone sort of thing. But would you give like, what would be like your top advice?
If you're going through it?
Yeah, if you're going through it. I guess let's do if you're going through it, and if you're the other person who's involved in that person's life.
If you're going through it, I would say find that person that you're able to vent to, talk about, cry, that you feel safe talking to. And it's okay to let it out. It's okay to constantly talk about it, because you bottle it up for so long that the only thing you can do is just release it.
Yeah.
So I would say that just find that person that you can really connect with and you're comfortable in talking about what you're going through with them. And then what was your second question?
Is the other person, so the people in your life, what should they do to help you or aid you, or like, because I know some, like I was saying, some people are so like, oh, you're not crazy, so like they put those annotations on it when it's not related to that.
I think it kind of depends on the person. With me, I need to be left alone.
Yeah.
But then, equally, it is nice to have your supportive family there. So I would say, and I always wanted to be in my own space, in my own comfort zone. So I didn't mind friends coming over, but I just didn't want to go out. I just wanted to be at home. So
yeah, so like in your own comfort.
Yeah, so maybe just find someone that is, I don't know, family, like they're going to be there for you.
Camera died.
Okay.
Yeah, so camera died. We're back on now. So I've done Joe's face in terms of foundation and concealer. And what did we use? So this is Sheer Glow Foundation by NARS.
Yeah.
Favourite?
Yes.
NYX. Can't Stop, Won't Stop Concealer. And this is a shade Medium Olive, which I need to get because I think this is my colour too.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if it's worth me saying this, I've had such a horrible time with concealers, and a good friend of mine recommended this, and this is literally a dream. So yeah.
So I'm going to use Fenty. This is my dream. Not about that lip filler. And it just makes it like
Yeah. Those Chinese.
Yeah. I was like, why do I look 10 times fatter than like the whole point of contouring is to make me look less fat. I literally look like a Humpty Dumpty.
I just hate.
Okay, let's bronze now.
Bronze, yay! My
let's
favourite part.
get that bronzing on. Okay, so this is my favourite again. I feel like I'm just using all my favourites on you. So Too Faced, chocolate soil, and this is the one that got me featured on their page.
Come on!
211
page, okay.
Yeah, theirs is really nice as well. They're a really nice warm tone, which is amazing. And that's cheaper one.
Okay.
Cheaper.
Because I used to use the NARS.
Yeah.
That was great, and then I thought, oh, let me try a cheaper one.
Yeah.
And that's when I used.
It's always good to have like cheaper. We're done with Joe's look now. I don't even know if we introduced your name.
I don't think we did.
So say your full name. Joanna.
Joanna Farage.
Yeah. And aka Jojo Curls.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? I'm scared. Ready?
Tracy.
Okay.
Is it open?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually really terrified. Hold on.
Okay.
Tracy!
Do you like it? You don't look like drag.
No, this looks sick! Bronze, yes! Tracy, this is awesome.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Do you like your eyes? So guys, this is the finished look. Look at these bouncy cows. This is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed watching our video. Got some tips hopefully about mental health and hear our stories about it.
Yeah.
I would advise, obviously, if you were going through it, then please do reach out. Like Joe said, find that person to talk to. Don't be afraid. It's nothing to be ashamed of, because I think that's what people feel like.
Yeah.
I know I got there to a point where I was like, oh, I don't want to add extra stress, and I don't want people to think the opposite sort of thing.
I think for me, it's just don't be scared to say that you need help. It's okay, and that help that they do give you, it really does help to structure your life a little bit better. So just put your hand up, don't be afraid just to say, hey, I need a bit of help.
Yeah, and I guess also like with therapy, I do now when I feel like something triggers it or I'm going back into that boat, I do use the therapy like sessions, and they teach you how to use your mind, like cognitive behaviour therapy, I think.
Yeah.
And it sticks with you, because then you start seeing like the circle and like, oh, stop, actually, let's review it again in a more positive manner, so you don't have a relapse, you don't like have triggers. But I think it's always a work in progress. It's something that once you've suffered with it, it doesn't go away, I don't think. You just have to become strong enough to manage it properly, see where you're falling into that and pick yourself up.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's
for me, it was all about structure, so she helped me to structure out my days so I didn't feel like I was doing so much in one day. So honestly, there's different methods, there's different ways of learning how to deal with it, so please go out to whoever you think is the most appropriate person, whether it's your GP, a friend, a family. Just let them know that you're going through this, and I'm sure they'll help.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thanks for doing this video for
Yeah,
me.
it's fine, no worries.
Especially
Thank you
talk
for
about like mental health and stuff, because it's a sensitive topic to
Mm.
everyone. So I really, really appreciate that you took this to do it and told everyone your story.
It's okay.
Got me to tell everyone my story too.
Yeah,
Which I probably thought I wouldn't. But yeah, thank you so much for doing it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, a chatty one, and obviously this is how Joe looks right now.
Thank you, Tracy. Honestly, I love this look, so thank you so
yeah.
much.
Making on the dummy tonight. Joana, your busy body giving me life, oh. Hey, life, eh. Why you do me like Joana?